A city is only as strong as the trust between its citizens and the people elected to lead it. But trust isn't given, it's earned. And more importantly, it has to be maintained through transparency, hard questions, and unwavering accountability. Welcome to the premiere episode of the Manchester Guardian. I'm your host, Jason Dunlap. If you live, work, or raise a family here in Manchester, Tennessee, this show is for you. We are launching this platform with a single, unshakable purpose: to serve as an independent watchdog for our local government. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to lay out exactly what the Manchester Guardian is, how we plan to hold our current and future city officials to a higher standard, and how you, the citizens of Manchester, are going to help us do it. Whether you've lived here your whole life or you just moved to town, kind of like we did 3 years ago, the decisions made in our city council meetings, the zoning boards, and any municipal office, they affect your daily life. It's time that we pull the curtain back and we take a closer look at how those decisions are being made. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is the Manchester Guardian? So, to put it simply, we are an independent accountability project. We aren't here to play politics, and we aren't here to launch baseless attacks. My goal with this podcast is to look at the facts, the policies, and the actions of our city management through a professional, objective lens. Too often in local governments, things happen quietly. An ordinance gets passed, a budget gets approved, or development gets greenlit, and the average citizen only finds out when the construction starts or the tax bill arrives. We're here to change that timeline. It's easy for governments to operate in the shadows when no one is watching. A lack of oversight typically breeds inefficiency. The standard of leadership we need are those who over-communicate. They are fiscally responsible, and they can also publicly defend their voting records without getting defensive. But here's the thing. This isn't about left versus right. It's about what's right versus what's wrong for Manchester, Tennessee. The focus is strictly on management, ethics, and operational effectiveness. Holding leaders to a higher standard means we expect them to remember who they work for. When an official takes the oath of office in this city, they are making a contract with you, the citizen. The Manchester Guardian, we're here to audit that contract. So how do we actually accomplish this? It's pretty easy. It's easy to get behind a microphone. It's easy to get behind a keyboard and complain. It's much harder to do the actual work of accountability. So here is our blueprint for how the Manchester Guardian will operate. First, we do our homework. We will be actively reviewing city council agendas, budget proposals, and public records. If the math doesn't make sense, or a policy seems to favor a select few over the community, we're going to put it under the spotlight right here. Second, we're going directly to the source. A major pillar of this show will be bringing local elected officials and city management directly onto the podcast. We will invite them to sit across from us on the record to explain their positions. And I want to be very clear. Any local official is welcome on this show. But just know, you will be asked tough, prepared questions. We aren't going to rely on hearsay. We will have the receipts. We'll keep a ledger of campaign promises, and we'll review them at the 12-month mark to see if they actually followed through. If an official declines to come on the show to explain a controversial vote, we will make that public. True leaders don't hide from the people who elected them. Now, this brings me to the most important part of our show. You. The Manchester Guardian cannot be everywhere at once. We need eyes and ears in every neighborhood, on every road, and in every local business. We are officially opening a channel for citizens to submit their complaints, concerns, and tips regarding city management. But I want to be very clear about how we handle this. We are not a gossip column. If you submit a rumor, it will stop with us unless it can be verified. So here's how our investigation process works. Number one is a submission. You can send us your concern securely, whether it's a zoning issue, a questionable use of city funds, or a road hazard that the city has ignored for months. We want to hear about it. Send us a message on Facebook, Telegram, or just shoot us an email. Number two is the vetting process. Once we receive a tip, we go to work. We pull all the relevant public records. We cross-reference city ordinances. We look for a pattern of neglect or mismanagement. And number three, the right of reply. So before we bring a citizen's complaint to the airwaves, we will reach out to the relevant city department or official. We will present them with the facts and give them a chance to explain or fix the issue. We want solutions, not just outrage. And number four is the public spotlight. If the city ignores the issue or provides an unacceptable excuse, we bring it here. We'll break down the citizen's complaint, we'll present the evidence we found, and publicly ask the city council why it isn't being handled. If you're dealing with a local government issue and you feel like you're screaming into a void, the Manchester Guardian, we're your megaphone. We will amplify legitimate, fact-based concerns so loud that City Hall has no choice but to listen. You know, Manchester is a great place to live, but greatness requires maintenance. We can't just elect people and hope for the best. We have to verify, we have to question, and we have to demand excellence from those who sit in positions of power. That is the mission of the Manchester Guardian. I want to thank you for tuning into this very first episode, but to make this work, I need you to do three things before our next episode. First, hit subscribe or follow wherever you're listening to this right now. Second, share this episode with one person who cares about the future of Manchester. And third, start sending us your questions and concerns. Next week, we'll be diving into our first official investigation of city policy, and I promise you don't want to miss it. Until then, keep your eyes open, ask hard questions, and remember, government belongs to the people, but only if the people are willing to watch it. I'm Jason Dunlap, and thank you for listening to the Manchester Guardian.